Welcome to another episode of the Utility Players Podcast, episode 21.
21.
Unrehearsed, by the way. That was nice. Welcome back, guys. It's been a couple weeks. So
yeah,
I'm ready to pop.
It's been a long time. It's good to see you guys.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Excited. Lots to talk about.
I drank an orange Celsius while I was at the gym before, and I imagine this is what it feels like doing crack.
Free
Are
base.
those good?
Yeah,
Are those
they're
good?
amazing. Yeah, they're amazing.
Celsius,
try 'em.
the shit.
They're like the only thing that
Yeah.
doesn't make me feel like shit before I
Right.
work out.
And that's key. That's all you need. Whatever works for you pre-workout. Yeah, because I've had times where I've had to leave the gym before and be like, I can't do anything right now. I'm too hopped up.
Yeah. See, my thing is like after the workout, like I'll go home and I'll be trying to relax, and like I'm still like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Still
Like,
fiending.
yeah, still fiending. But this one's cool. So
Let me ask you a question.
Pre-workout earlier.
Let me ask a question. Are you guys fans of energy drinks, or just drinks?
Not anymore, but I used to be big on it when I did business-to-business sales. Why, you got some
Never mind.
product?
Are you fans of gas stations like me? I'm one of those guys where anytime there's like a new drink or a new product, and I see it, like Lay's chips. Oh my God.
I know
They
what
get
you
me
mean.
every time.
I do that
Yeah.
with chips.
My face is at the Lay's corporate headquarters and like, what can we get this dude to buy? And there's a whole room of people, and they're just like, come out with a new flavor, like, chili tacos, and I'm like, what does that taste like? And then you taste it and you're like, oh, or cheeseburger. I remember they had the cheeseburger ones and I tasted it. I think I ate probably a quarter of the bag. I'm like, this doesn't taste like cheeseburgers. And then later in the night, I was like, having that taste in my mouth. So I go to try it again. I'm like, oh my God, it tastes like a cheeseburger. Like I had the whole thing in my mouth. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot of trial and error with that stuff.
That's
Like you buy a bag and it's just like one chip in, it's a disaster. I've been there before.
Yeah. So to my point, I'm that guy, I like energy drinks, but I don't drink them as much as I used to. But I'm that guy where if I go into a gas station and I see a new one, like I'll buy it and try it. And I don't know how many times I've opened it, tasted it. I'm like, this tastes like shit. So I can't drink the rest of it. And they get me every time.
Yeah, no, I'm like that too. I'm definitely a consumer. Whenever I see something that I haven't seen before, I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me give it a try.
Yeah.
And then
I know.
halfway through, it's like, yo, this is ass. But then I want to throw it out because then I think about all the kids in Cuba that don't even know what the fuck this is. So I gotta drink that shit.
So then
I used to
in the
drink amp
market
every day.
Oh my, those things gave me the worst stomach aches.
Really?
Yeah.
Monsters?
They're amp every morning. And
they're
like, middle
good,
school.
but they gave me the worst stomach aches after a while.
Yeah, when you're younger, your body could break it down better. You're more active, but I drink an energy drink right before golf sometimes, and it's out of desperation, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. It's like all at once, right away. There's no subtlety to some of them.
Yeah, rather
It's not good to have those or like anything sugar related before golf because you get the jitters while you're putting, man.
Yep.
Yeah. There's my
I
problem.
learned that from Jim Furyk.
Ben's like, that's what's going on with my swing. It's the energy drinks.
It's the energy drinks why I have the jitters. What is causing me then to slice every shot?
I'm with you, bro.
What am I consuming that is making me do that? Because
I found out it's two things. It's the way you hold the club, your hands, and also what part of the head you're hitting, whether it's the heel or the toe of it. So those are the two things that I figured out, though. I still can't figure it out because I'm inconsistent, but when I get it, I'll let you know.
This golf segment is brought to you by
Perfect practice.
I have to say it. I have to get it out, but that's what she said, right?
Yes.
So ironically, when we recorded 20, we were bragging kind of that we were doing it for 20 straight weeks. Last week we missed for the right reasons. We'll get into that later on in the episode, but we have 2 weeks basically to catch up on. A lot of news is old news that happened last week that we would have talked about, but we'll kind of skip over that or mention it briefly. NBA playoffs is down to 4 teams now. Don't have to talk about my Nets game 7. Thank God. We can move on to Bucks, Hawks, Clippers, and Suns. The Suns are not winning in 4. They could win it. Hopefully they win in 6. The Clippers, Paul George is balling. We got to give him his flowers. I know Mike wanted us to mention that. And we'll see how the Bucks Hawks go without Trae Young. Give me your opinion or kind of what you guys seen out of those two series so far.
Well, I'll let you guys go first because I have a stupid stat that I only care about. So go ahead.
I do hope the Suns take that series. With everybody that's left, I'm hoping the Suns win it all. You know, I like Phoenix, I like that team. I love Devin Booker, and I want CP3 to get a ring. So I hope they win it all. And then the Bucks Hawks series, man. I don't want the Bucks to win, but it looks like that's probably going to happen. Especially with Trae Young being out. It just sucks, I think, because I think you've seen it throughout the playoffs, and especially in these two series now, we have two star players for teams that aren't there. And I hate when there's questions left out there to ask. Like, what if the Clippers did have Kawhi? You know, Trae Young's not playing tonight, you know, but what if they have a healthy Trae Young? You don't know how that's going to linger. So, you know, I know that's part of basketball, but it just kind of, I wish we had them playing so we could get some legitimacy out of it. I'll even speak to that to the Nets. You don't want to talk about the whole thing, but I think those questions are there and left unanswered too about that team. I think injuries this year just were amplified. I feel like if we think back next year to this season, I think we'll think most about, or maybe not most, but a lot about the injuries that happened to a lot of the players
100%.
and how it kind of, you know, almost like an asterisk to the year, right?
Yeah.
What if there was a bunch of players that were a lot healthier? What would that season turned out like?
Yeah. What if the NBA? Oh, my fault. I just wanted to say, what if the NBA gave the teams that were in the bubble a little more rest before this season started? You know.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of those guys that are out this year, a lot of those teams that got eliminated early, Next excluded because obviously you guys were in the bubble, right?
Yeah, we got swept. Thanks for reminding me of that.
No, not trying to bring that up.
No. I
think your guys' situation is a lot different from teams like the Heat or the Lakers, teams like that, to where probably they could have made it, and the Clippers. But those games, those bubble games, and then the short turnaround for this season definitely impacted those teams this year, except for the Jazz, who blew another 3-1 lead. But we won't get to that. I did also want to say that there's a streak that's in jeopardy with these playoffs. I believe Rondo is the last man standing. I don't know if you guys saw this, but for 37 straight seasons, and this is from Mike Goldfool on Twitter. For 37 straight seasons, a former teammate of Shaq has made it to the NBA Finals.
See, who the fuck is keeping all these stats? Like, I honestly, who does have time for it? Because I think about my day, you know, think about all of our days. I'm like, I literally don't have the time to look that up. Like, who is keeping track of all this stuff? And look,
they play together when
what a ridiculous stat.
Yeah,
you know, what a ridiculous thing to know.
Like, and it was just Rondo, Danny Green, and Jeff Green this year in the playoffs. Well, going into last series because LeBron was out.
Yeah.
But I think for entertainment purposes, everyone wanted to see Suns Hawks with Trae out. I don't know. Maybe the Hawks pull this game off just on some adrenaline type shit, but we don't know. It's looking like Bucks Suns. I'd rather see the Suns in the finals than the Clippers. Clippers are playing tough. They know how to play in this position, so that experience is definitely helping them out. But we'll see.
Yeah, I want that Suns Clippers series to go to 7. I think it will go 7 just because, I mean, that series has been real close all the games, pretty much. Like Ray said, Paul George has shut Twitter up. Like, Twitter is nowhere to be found when Paul George is doing these crazy games. He went 15 of 20 with 40 plus. Like, that's his best game of his career. And then, Trae Young being out just is bad. I feel just like even leading up to the playoffs before, players were getting hurt. Jamal Murray turned his ACL, and, you know, AD being out, it's not good for the game, which is, I'm surprised why ratings are up. But I feel the worst thing about it is the way Trae Young got hurt, like stepping on the ref's foot. Like,
it sucks.
You know, that's just a bad way to go out. And I'm pretty sure he did everything possible to try and play today because that dude gives 110% every time he's on the court, even though he has his antics and plays how he plays. He's a competitor. So that Bucks series, though, I think, like you said, Gravy, the Hawks might win tonight, but if they don't, that series is over in 5.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately,
I definitely think that. Yeah.
I like Atlanta. They got a good young squad. So,
although we all like to see Mike lose, unfortunate for him that it has to be this way.
Yeah, injuries suck.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, I think the Suns, the Ask PG, which Fort's right. When PG is playoff P and pandemic P, we all make fun of him on Twitter, and then when he balls out like yesterday, you don't hear too much credit. It slowly creeps, but it's not immediate
That's
like
with
the hate
though.
is. Yeah, of course, it's not immediate. The hate is usually immediate, and then the good usually comes like, all right, he balled, and then the stats will come out, which is fine. But to ask him to do that, or ask Reggie Jackson to hit 12 straight
Reggie
points
Jackson
in the fourth that I seen yesterday,
off.
That's kind of hard for the Clippers to do for the next, another 2 or 3 games. So I think the Suns only need to put together one complete game. I think they go to the finals, which I projected the Nets to go with them. So hopefully I'll be 50%. And then the Bucks have been the most healthiest team in the playoffs that passed the final 8. They've had essentially their whole team, their core, and they've all played well. A couple bad games here and there from in the Net series, but they've played well enough to deserve to go to the finals. And the Hawks had a great run. Trae Young's done a lot. He's averaged 30 points per game in this entire playoff, which is way more than anybody would have thought, because the playoffs are more physical, and he's a little dude. So the fact that he's able to play 40 plus minutes, average 30 points, and then dish out like 10 assists, all credit to him. So I love what he's done.
Milwaukee, though, man.
Hey, we said it. Like, they got to capitalize on this opportunity to win the championship.
They got to do something.
They have to. This is the easy. Yep, this is their year. If they don't win it this year, it's gonna get harder after this.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to go to
probably maybe the best game that Paul George has ever had in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I said too. I think
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, I've never seen the guy play better.
He was hitting everything.
Like,
and
man,
it was just all net
15
too.
for 20.
Yeah, 15 for 20 is nuts.
Like, do my math correctly, that is 70%.
Wow.
Yeah. He was, I feel like he was just playing kind of back to how he was with 75. Indiana. He got to his spots, and it was the smooth game 75. that we know from Paul George. I mean, when he does that, there's very little players better than him. And
so
like Paul George.
While we're speaking NBA, I want to touch on the kind of the slight little rumors you hear about Dame, and all the stuff that's creeping out there about him. Do any of you feel like Damian Lillard will be playing in another uniform next year?
I'll just quickly say no.
Portland.
For him, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope he gets out of there.
For him, I hope so.
It'll suck for Chauncey too. He just took that job, and then Lillard gets shipped out. Like,
well, in my opinion, you don't know where these rumors are coming from. Who's doing it? Is it his party? Is it a party that doesn't know anything and they're just putting out? But I think there's a lot of things that would have to go wrong from now till September for him to just either completely, because any player that has asked out, usually like 95% in basketball, is always out. They're either moved that same year or the next year, but eventually it's 100%. You don't ask to be out, and they don't do something to either bring people in to combat that. But I think that would take a lot. Why? You have an idea where you think he would go, or they would ship him to?
No, but I just there's no we don't have anything.
That'd be fire.
We have.
I saw some interesting landing spots for him.
Picks, but to me, it's that, but it also comes down to what you said, right? I think with especially the Twitter age we're in, and like the everybody wanting to get the most impactful headline out there as quick as possible.
Yeah,
with sports now, all the rumors and stuff you hear, it's like watered it down to, do I believe any of this shit anymore? Like, do I believe anything that it's anybody's saying? And you don't, because most of it, if you look down to it, is all bullshit. It's like, where are you getting this from?
If Shams don't tweet it, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I know. As far as Dame, where he would go, I have no idea. I wish he would stay. I hope he stays in Portland, honestly.
No.
There's nowhere for him to go. Like, I don't want to see him.
mean,
I like Dame. I like part of. I know what you're gonna say. Part
No,
of the reason I
I'm
love
not.
Dame
I'm not.
is because Dame is not like conforming to that other style
Yeah,
that every
exactly.
other athlete. He's staying up there in Portland and being like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna try to literally do this thing here." Will he ever do it? And I think he's maybe starting to see like it'll probably never happen, right?
Correct.
But I don't, I love him in that Blazers jersey. Did he confirm he's playing for the Olympic team?
He
Yeah.
is.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing he could do, just to talk to other players, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes you could talk to players and people could be like, dude, just stay there. You're just a piece away. Or you could, get with some dudes and figure out something that, if not next year or something. So Olympic teams and all-star teams are where the super teams are created. History shows.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Any other playoff news?
I just want to say one thing. As a Knicks fan, I did see some stupid shit today on my timeline
We know.
from the SNY_Knicks Twitter account.
Here we go.
What was it?
Would you give this up for Damian Lillard?
Yes.
So it was Damian Lillard.
Yes. Whatever it is, I would say yes to. Yeah.
No, I was saying no because this
okay.
is just dumb, just stupid. RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, a 2021 and 2023 first round pick, and then 2022 and 2024 pick swap.
Dude, that's too much. That's not even. That wouldn't even slide.
You wanna
That's
be
an
right back
impossible
where we
trade.
were
That's
before.
That shows like not.
first of all,
Yeah.
that's in a video game that wouldn't even work. They wouldn't approve that. That
And
needs.
I saw fans like backing this, like, yeah, we need him now.
No.
Because then we could
How
sign
when you gave
other
away the
players.
rest of your team?
Fuck
no.
no.
Yeah, you just gave away.
Your entire team.
But also
no.
you need something back. You would need like a legit other piece back as
Yeah,
well,
no,
not just.
don't do that dumb shit.
Yeah. No.
But I will just throw two random teams out that I think are possibilities for him, and that is the Mavericks and the Pelicans.
The Mavericks intrigue me.
Yeah.
Pelicans are
intrigue me
doable.
too.
Pelicans got enough. They have all their draft picks because they haven't
Yeah.
acquired anybody, and they also have
They can-
enough 3-year, 4-year pros that they could deal
Yeah.
too. So
if Lonzo wants to do a sign and trade, they can throw Brandon Ingram in there.
that's legit. That's legit.
And I'd love to see Dame and Zion. That'd be cool.
Oh,
Yeah, that would
That'd
be a
be
lot of fun.
yeah.
That's
That
Ben's
would
guy.
They'll be on TNT a lot
Yeah,
more than that's
dude.
for sure.
I know, dude. I'm all on. I'm all about Zion.
So if you guys want to play the game of where do people go, Ben Simmons is talked about. Is that a him and Philly
going back
just
down
done?
to
Where
AAU ball.
yeah, just tugging go to China.
Timberwolves.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He should
I
possess
said it earlier.
Minnesota.
But that's another one. Do you see, so the same question that you guys asked about Dame is, do you see Ben playing game one for the Sixers
No.
next season?
No.
Okay. I say no as well.
I don't think so either, especially after what Embiid said after that series.
That's a lot. Yeah, man. There was a lot of things shared. There was a lot of
Doc said
things behind the
something.
Yeah, Doc said I don't see him winning a ring, or I don't
Danny
know.
Green just said some shit on a podcast.
Well, Danny Green is the last person to say
Yeah,
anything
that's
about
true.
or whatever.
But that's
so.
that's the opposite
your
of what
mouth.
we just talked about the Dame, where you have a lot of people talking behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff that was reported from the people themselves. So like
Yeah.
whether it was said or unsaid, I think that's a lot to ask a young guy that is having mental issues as far as his game to come back into. Now he's like the pressure is times 20. So yeah, I say no as well. What about you, Ben?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll say yeah. I don't see where he goes. I honestly don't see. Like the man is devalued right now. And
Yeah,
so
that's true too.
I don't
Timberwolves.
see where he goes.
All it takes
I
is
also
that
think-
one coach or GM to be able, like, I could tap in, I could figure him out. I
Yeah.
think.
I also think, and it's not taking a shot at him, but like I don't think Ben Simmons is used well. Like,
I agree.
he doesn't like people think of him in today's NBA, and he's really not a today's NBA type player. He's
not.
He's the NBA we grew up in type player.
Yeah, 100%. He'd
and
be
he's
amazing
like-
on the New Jersey Nets in 2003.
Right. And so I
Doesn't
think
have to
he's
shoot.
like put in positions and in a system where he's not really used the way he should be used, in my opinion. And so I don't think he'll ever be in, I think what we saw this year is what we see out of Ben Simmons' rest of career.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I don't think any coach is going to know how to use him properly. Like he shouldn't be part of any offensive game at all, in my opinion.
What frustrates me the most about him is that, like in the videos I've seen when he shoots, like it looks like he's supposed to be shooting with his right hand, but like it at least looks good and it goes in. Like me as a fan, if I'm a Sixers fan, I'd rather him shoot that shit like 8-12 times a game and, you know, get some confidence up than pass up the wide open dunk that he had in that series. Like, don't pass up stuff like that. You know, it's okay to fail, dog. Like, just shoot that shit. You know, I think it's all mental for him. Yeah, he doesn't have any confidence in his shot. And, you know, when you're an NBA player, that you should have all the confidence in the world to just let it fly. But I don't know. There must be something going on in that game where they're like, oh, don't shoot that shit. Like, because
I mean, Danny Green, like, he wasn't talking shit about Ben Simmons. They were just asking about him. He was doing a show. I don't know the name of the show or podcast, whatever it was. But he did say that he could see that Ben was going through a lot this year. Granted, he hasn't been able to shoot for the last 5 years, but he said he was going a lot of stuff, you know, on the court personally, back home, and just struggling out on the fields, on the court. So, I mean, it is what it is. Personally, I think they should trade him to Minnesota, get D. Russ and some guys back. I think D'Angelo Russell fits really well with that Philadelphia team, and him and Embiid in the pick and roll could be very scary.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think he should be a point guard anymore, Ben Simmons. I think they got to write that off. He could be a guy that brings up the ball. That's not a problem. KD brings up the ball. LeBron brings up the ball, but there's still a point guard in that lineup, you know, every time.
The elbow.
Yeah.
Kind of like Pau Gasol with the Lakers, skilled passer.
To develop a 15-footer is not a problem.
It's so much easier than trying to develop a 3. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not being used.
But he's got to do it. You got to see it happen first before any of that shit works.
Yeah, for sure, right? I think that's why if he does suit up for the Sixers, they smartly try to build him back up and throw him in a different offensive scheme, hopefully more attractable for another team to be like, okay, because nobody wants to be the guinea pig in it. You know, they want to see it work, so they might have to wait for maybe a month into the season, see if it works, and then be like, all right, now we can bring him in with a point guard and maybe do something with that.
That's why I'm so sold on Minnesota as an option, because maybe his value has taken a bit of a hit. So, you know, you're not going to get a top 10, top 15 player in the league for him right now. And you kind of need that to go with Embiid and Tobias Harris to an extent. But you're trying to win now with Embiid. So I think getting D-Russ and maybe, you know, a defender or a shooter helps them a lot more and is way more attainable than, you know, going after a big fish. So we'll see.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck the Sixers anyway.
Good timing on that.
Fuck the Sixers.
The Hawks and Bucks just started.
Hey, Shaq, I just want to say, because I was laughing, but I was on mute before. Shaq, on the pregame show, he said that the Hawks should start Jeff Teague tonight.
I know. I saw that.
Jeff Teague hasn't played all series, right?
Was the Bucks.
He that's funny.
Shaq was like, I'm a big dummy.
I remember seeing Jeff Teague on the bench, and if you told me he played for the Hawks, I'd believe it because I haven't seen him. He didn't play at all with the net series, so I would have believed you if you said he played for the Hawks.
What do we think about the coaches that were hired?
Yeah, that was going to be my next topic. What in mind stuck out to you the most right away?
I love the Jason Kidd hire.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, why not? The top 5 point guard of all time with a freak like Luka? Come on. That's like dream scenario.
I love the hire, and I love it's with the Mavericks.
Yeah, and he's a 2-time Mav too. So
he won a ring. Yeah.
Yep. He won a ring with him, and he got drafted by. He got drafted by him. So
the GM they paired him with, I think his name is Nico Harrison.
Yeah, I know nothing about him.
He's very well touted, and that's why Lillard was backing him. So that's why they're
really
Dallas is an option.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say he was a Nike executive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I seen on Twitter like some like retweets and quote tweets about people backing him.
No, I think it was Nike.
Nike. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then obviously the Mavs got rid of a head coach and a GM in one shot. Rick Carlisle then signed with the Pacers.
He went back to the Pacers, which is a really good fit for him.
Yeah, that's a good fit so far. And then Billups went to
Portland.
The Blazers,
And
right?
they're getting so much backlash.
Why?
I didn't
That
like it.
rape. Billups has like a rape charge or a rape.
Rape
I mean, so does
accusation from
J Kid been fucking up the
1997.
last 20 years too. So
Yeah.
people be bringing
Um,
up, dude. I'm telling you, the moment they're an assistant coach and everybody's okay with it, the moment they become a head coach, that's when everybody has a problem. So
I've
you're
never heard of
okay.
Yeah.
Dog, me neither.
He was
I
on
know,
ESPN.
yeah.
He was doing everything,
Yeah.
and I didn't hear a word about it.
It's because
Never heard of it.
the Twitter bots come out and
Right.
are like, "Oh, Chauncey Billups trending. Let's Google him." That's
Yeah.
all they do, bro. We talked about
I
this
know.
in like 5 episodes ago. All of a sudden, somebody comes out and doing well. They've been in the league for 25 years, and all of a sudden, people want to Google, and that's why you can't pay that no mind because that's just toxic.
That's why I hate. That's why I would never like. To me, being famous in a way, I don't know if I would like it because
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
people
hell
would
no, I don't wanna
search
do
me and then say some stuff and like, dude, I was 21 years old. What stuff
Yeah.
have you done? That's why I
Yeah.
always loved George Clooney. You ever seen that interview where they asked George Clooney, like, would you ever become president or run for office? And he said no because I fucked too many bitches and done too many.
that
Love
shit
it.
will come out.
Yeah.
FBI be under.
And-
The only amount of famous I want to get is give us 100,000 followers on our IG and give us like, maybe 50,000 a week listeners.
Yeah.
And I'll take that. You could
Yeah.
cat me out right there. Anything
Well,
else
it's
after
just
that is
like-
too stressful.
It's just like, yeah, it's hard to live a peaceful life. But the Chauncey thing, beyond that, I don't necessarily, I'm like, whatever with the hire. I don't really, like, what is Chauncey? I don't know. What has he proven as a coach?
The
big
As a
shot.
head coach.
You know what?
What is
my
Steve
stance
Nash
on that
proven?
is- My stance on that is they haven't
Yeah.
proven anything, and we don't know what they'll do until we see them in that position. I'm happy that a lot of first-time coaches are getting the opportunity to coach instead of recycling these crackers.
Yeah, you changed my
And,
mind. And I agree with that because, to get experience, you must have opportunity. And to
Yeah.
have opportunity, you need someone to give you that first opportunity.
Yep.
So I agree
I'm
with
tired
it.
of
Yeah,
seeing
I
Mike
like it.
D'Antoni coach 17
That
different
guy should never
teams
get a
and
job
never win
again.
anything. Yeah.
No.
And what
Mike
was Portland
D'Antoni.
doing interviewing him, knowing his relationship with Carmelo Anthony, if they wanted to resign Carmelo Anthony?
Yeah, that's pretty
well,
weird.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, at the
But,
end of the day, they're at the liberty of Dame, so they're trying to like at least show it's more important to Dame that you're interviewing everybody or at least reaching out because the last thing you want is your superstar to be like, why didn't you do all you could do? So that's just the Blazers probably doing formalities. We're gonna contact him, but he's not serious for it. So
They went-
I understand it from the
they
business
didn't-
aspect. And
They thought Carmelo was too busy trying to prepare for his twins he's about to have.
Flew
Oh,
him
yeah.
out to Europe.
I thought they divorced a
Allegedly.
while ago. That was
So did I.
Allegedly,
I was like, they're
no,
still
they got back
together.
together. No, they just got
Oh.
divorced.
Oh.
They were together for a while. I mean, that's that's 20 years of being an NBA player and she's being a celebrity. She's transformed, by the way. She's not the same person
No.
physically.
Oh,
That
Mm-mm. She's not the
she's
same
built like an
person.
ant.
I got
She's
no
not the
complaints.
same. She's not the same person I used to watch in my bedroom with the door locked when I
bedroom.
was younger.
Ooh, hey,
Oh,
You
we're
know?
getting personal now.
Yeah. But in like celebrity years, they've been together for literally 200 years.
200.
So,
Yeah.
I
Shout out
know.
to
When
them.
I heard it. I'm
Melo's
like,
been with like 5
right.
different teams.
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry.
Almost
Sorry,
30,000
Melo.
points.
I love you, Mello.
Ju-
I just,
ju-
lighthearted.
Just so we don't forget him, I was with a Celtics fan while I was in Florida last week, and he is very
They
hyped
exist?
about the Ime Udoka coaching signing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when we signed him as an assistant coach, there was everybody knew he was so talented and this was only a pit stop.
Yeah.
But the fact that we got him for a year, the guys got to learn from him, but he's going to do well. Boston, I'm biased towards. I want them to crash and burn, but I'm glad at least he came to us first and then them.
For sure.
All right, so the Pistons got the number 1 pick. Kemba, speaking of the Celtics, got traded out. Who the fuck knows? But the Celtics are going to do probably 3 more moves by the start of next season, I assume. They got to figure out Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and then kind of the pieces around them because they've been making moves for the last every year, trade deadline and at off season.
Danny Ainge, baby.
I'm
Any
just gonna start
other-
saying it now? Free Cade Cunningham from Detroit.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
I'll just start that. movement early.
I'm optimistic about Detroit because at the end of the day, yes, they haven't shown anything in the last 10, 12 years, but you guys know it takes one superstar of a guy, and then maybe a couple pieces, and you're rolling at least. You're at least the New Orleans Pelicans. You're at least the not the Orlando Magic or the Chicago
As a man who
Bulls.
loves college basketball, hey, as a man who loves college basketball, Cade Cunningham is gonna be something.
Yeah,
He's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his, and he smoked my bracket this year because I was so much of a fan of his.
Yeah.
But they also play in the Little Caesars Arena, so I'm not.
Right.
dude? We could have a whole segment on names of arenas lately. I've been seeing what's the new Miami Marlins one, the IG Lone Depot.
Yeah.
They got the Smoothie King. How they coughing up millions of dollars for this? We're selling $5 pizzas.
Even what's
I
Inter
see
Miami
that.
Stadium name?
Look at how many $5 pizzas they sell.
Little
And
Caesars fire.
yeah,
The Little
it's
Caesars
actually
right on the block.
I know I'm not in the right area if I see a Little Caesars. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be. I'm not where I need to be.
That's
But Little
crazy.
Caesars, what I like about Little Caesars is they don't try to be anything else. So they market what they
Hey,
are,
know thyself.
and they know what they are. They're good at what they do, and they don't try to be anything different.
Hot and ready, baby.
Hot and ready. You walk in, you're walking
Like,
out in
you know
60
what you're
seconds.
getting. It's reliable. You
Yeah.
never have to worry about it not being, good or not. You know what you're getting every single time.
Yeah.
It's affordable. It hits the spot. It's better than any of the other ones out
You might
there
see a
that are
murder
like-
while you're on the way there or something.
Pizza has a new commercial every week. It's like, no, the edge. Like, shut the fuck up. Your pizza's terrible.
Right? Yeah, Little
The
Caesars
edge. I like
had a
that.
variety lately.
I
They
know.
got the deep dish.
We put all the toppings right to the edge. Well, maybe you should start putting actually fucking tomato sauce on your pizza. Because the last
Focus
70
on the
years-
pizza first versus the last part of the
last
meal.
70 years, I have no idea what the fuck that is because it's not tomato sauce. It's like paste. It's like somebody took crayons, melted them, and put them on there as paste. And they never put. Have you ever noticed pizza? They barely put cheese on it. It's like they had a bag of cheese, right?
Put the
They've been
cheese
putting
in Pizza
all this-
Hut?
all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And
At
then
Pizza
at the
Hut last
bottom
week.
of it, they like throw it on there, and you're like, wait a minute, like there's not even much cheese on it. I don't know.
Hey, when we painted Nate and Jess's house, we got Pizza Hut.
Did you get the edge?
It was pretty good.
Was there toppings all the way to the edge?
We did get a Supreme.
Yeah.
Stepped
Did
out
you
of
see
my
the
comfort zone a
Shaq,
little
the
bit.
Shaq Papa John's commercial?
No.
Wait, he comes in,
When he has
he's
a
dressed
mustache
up.
on.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
like, oh,
yeah.
you got me. And they're like, oh, we knew who you were.
I did see that actually.
I love it. Oh shit. So that's it for NBA stuff. I know before we go into a bunch of other stuff, because that's basically, I mean, we got soccer that I wanted to jump into right after basketball. Because if you never watched soccer in your life and decided to turn on the 2 games yesterday and 2 games today, you'd probably immediately be a soccer nut, because those last 4 games were great quality matches and comebacks. But do you want to do bet the fort now so we could
Yeah, we could do that.
kind of get into our groove?
You find a soccer team yet, Ben?
Yeah, you better start
I-
picking, man.
I was
Season
just going to tell
starts.
you, I've chosen an MLS team, and that's not that surprising, I've
And who's that?
found myself. I gotta do it. I gotta stay with
Local?
the city that I love.
Of course.
And so
Chicago
I'm
Fire?
gonna- I know they're terrible, but I gotta be a Chicago Fire fan.
That's
I
when
think
you
they're
get
great.
in.
Brother.
Right.
That's when you get in. You get in when
And-
they're bad, you know, and then
I
you
just-
feel better.
I gotta,
Isn't that the
I gotta
name of a
stay-
TV show?
Yeah, but I gotta.
Chicago Fire PD or department or something like that.
My thought process is like, if I'm in town, right? If I'm in Chicago, I might be able to catch, maybe a Cubs game and then a Chicago Fire
the
game.
Fire.
It's all right there. I don't got to worry about all that stuff keeping the same city. But I've been watching for the first time, and a lot of it has to do with you guys too. But I've been watching a lot of the Euros, and I love it. And so I've been following and paying attention to a lot of the players, and then like doing research and looking at things. So I think I might be landing on a team here soon. There's some that
All
are
right.
kicking around,
All right.
We'll go into soccer in a moment. Let
You
us
got to
do.
do a reveal.
Damn
though.
right we will.
Yeah.
Let's
I want to
do
do
bet.
like a draft reveal. I'm gonna buy both hats, narrow it down to
Do it.
Pick the hat on. Do it.
Please. Bet the fourth. The floor is yours.
Bet for basketball tomorrow. I'm taking Clippers over the Suns. PG keeps his hot streak going. CP3, he's really gonna have to get off for them to win that game, because if he wants to make that first finals appearance, he's gonna have to work for it. No one said it was gonna be easy. I am taking Spain this weekend. They are playing Switzerland. Spain has been playing really well. They're a well-oiled machine. So I got them. And then I am taking Italy over Belgium. Italy has probably
Powerhouse.
right now, they're probably the best team I could see in the Euro Championship so far. And Belgium doesn't have Hazard or De Bruyne. So
Yep.
Don't ever. It's De
Brunier.
Bruyne. De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Yeah, I feel like when you say that name, you got to use the accent,
Hazard
right?
and De Bruyne.
De
Hazard,
Bruyne.
I'm fucking
Okay.
Cuban. I don't know how to say
Second
his
best player in the
European.
world, pal.
Yeah, no, he's nasty. Yeah, he's fucking
Yeah.
great. So that them not playing is big for them. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Italy's been going off.
So four. Three.
Three, just
Three
three.
picks. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then last week, I think I'm checking him over. I think he either went 3-2 or 4-1. We gotta put it on the review. But Bet the Fort's been, fade the fort a couple weeks ago, but Bet the Fort's back. You gotta.
Man.
He lives out amongst the critics. So he's gonna, when he's down, give him shit, because when he's
one
up,
gives
he's
me
gonna
any-
gloat.
No one gives me any bets either. Y'all want to talk shit after
Yeah.
the fact? I tell y'all my wins and my losses.
I like that.
Super transparent over here.
I didn't even know he was betting 90 minutes.
Bro, no, listen, that shit pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah, I lost $40 on
I didn't
Italy
even know
for that.
about that. That is
Oh
the
my
dumbest thing
God.
ever.
What, you
gotta
have to take
bet-
them in regular
gotta
time?
bet
Yeah,
to
it's regular
qualify
time.
Oh,
for
I didn't know that. I
When
didn't
you
know
bet,
that.
It's fucking regular time. That is.
I didn't know
that's
that.
Literally the dumbest thing.
That is
Yes.
dumb.
Because I was telling Ben before we started recording, like, if you bet on a team in baseball and the game goes to extra innings, they're not gonna
Yeah.
it's not gonna
It's
be like,
different
your
rules
bet doesn't-
too.
What-
It's different
what is the
rules. There's a
point?
runner on second, and they would still count. You're right.
It's different because
But
the
what-
game can go to penalty kicks.
Yeah, but what's the point of that?
But one
You're
team's still
betting-
gonna
wait,
win. though.
Baseball's not going to a home run derby after 12 innings.
I know.
I mean,
It should.
but if you're-
They
if you're
just
betting-
recreated a rule though.
Dude, if you're betting on a soccer match and you're betting the money line, which
you said
essentially means
soccer
you're
match.
betting on that team to win.
Mhm.
What
In
does
regulation.
it matter?
Same thing for
But
hockey.
what is that?
There's 60-minute bets, and then
Okay.
there's bets for the whole game.
I don't know anything about hockey.
Well, then
so-
why are you betting on the money line?
What do you mean? There's a money
Why
line
is-
for. There's a money line for
All right.
like the full
In
game
my-
bets.
In my mind, essentially anything after the amount of time in the match is essentially some sort of an overtime, right? Whatever you might call it, it's some sort of overtime. How come in some sports it's fine, but in others it's not? It just, I don't know. Look,
Yeah.
it is
Not
what
like a
it
guy
is.
who lost some money.
I'm just mad because I
was
lost
pretty
$40.
upset too.
I lost $40 on the Italy match, and then I lost. Who'd Switzerland play yesterday?
France.
Can't remember.
France.
I lost
France,
that one.
that was a
Fucking-
wild game. I mean,
fucking-
Both those.
Ah.
Was it France? Did they play France? Yeah, right.
I can't remember. Whoever they played, I lost. But
yeah, it was
so-
Switzerland, France, Spain, and
But I agree with you. These
Whatever.
matches have been crazy.
Croatia.
Yeah, both those games have been
Yeah, that game was nuts.
So the Spain game, what were they up? They were up 3-1.
3-1.
Croatia
yeah.
scored 2 to make it 3-3 late,
And
like
then they won
last
5-3
8
in
minutes.
extra time.
Yeah.
Otani just went deep again.
Yeah, well,
Sheesh.
you know what? It's a every.
yeah.
This guy's an alien. Oh my goodness. Got him
That
47th
pitch-
overall on my fantasy. That's robbery. I should have been
That
charged.
pitch, that inside a couple of days ago, that inside pitch that he took out is insane. How he swung and hit that.
Right? That
Yeah,
inside, how he could get his
How he-
he could get his hips moving.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
don't know
mean?
how he hit that.
You guys are real cute. We can talk about baseball later, but if
Okay.
you think I'm closing this soccer segment without talking
Okay.
about my
Sorry,
Italian,
side note. I mean,
Good.
we're witnessing
I was trying to
we're
throw you
witnessing
the alley.
history right
you
now.
got another
Go
thing
ahead.
coming, pal.
So then, so Spain basically scored the 2, to win it in extra time. So if Ford bet Spain, Croatia money line and they won not in penalty kicks, would he have won his bet? No, right?
No,
Nope.
but like,
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
No, but you can bet the draw.
Yeah,
And
you
the
bet the
draw
draw.
would-
Yeah.
For the
Gotcha.
time.
Yeah, the draw would have hit. Yeah.
Okay,
If
I
they're
got you.
tied after 90 minutes, that's a win. That's why the draw
Okay.
option is
I've never
always
bet
there.
on soccer that had
Yeah.
a tournament sudden death like this. So I only bet
Mhm.
ties or wins or losses. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. And then the Friends game was wild with Switzerland. Good.
Yeah.
So, as some of us know, I was in Florida last weekend. I was originally supposed to fly back Saturday afternoon, 3:33, with the Italy game starting at 3:30. I was sick. There was going to be no TVs on the plane. I would have missed the entire thing. So as soon as my flight got rescheduled, I texted my boy Maurice.
Hit up the
And
Italians.
I was like, "Where we at?"
But that boy made the call to the wharf.
So for those who know the wharf, me, Maurice, and Titi were in the back left bar watching on a TV by ourselves. I have never felt more Italian during
Man
this
just walked
game.
off the podcast.
Yeah, what's wrong with this guy?
He said
Yeah,
we're talking about Italy. I'm out of here.
No.
No,
Italy film
Ray
crap.
knows. When you're with the Italians, it's an experience.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
So, man, what a game.
I
we
gotta
watched
try to watch the
second
game
half.
with him on Friday.
Yeah, we watched the second half at Township, and there was nobody there. We were watching on the big screen, just the three
Yeah,
of
I
us.
seen that. There was not one person in there, huh? Not even
No.
like that's crazy.
But we called, like the three of us called all the subs. We're like, hey, Ches is going to come in. He's going to score for us. Beautiful play. Chests it in the box, comes back to his left, bangs it. I thought I cracked my phone. It came flying out of my pocket. We were jumping up and down, screaming. Thought I had COVID because I had a sore throat for 2 days.
And you're
It was, I don't speak Italian. I know some words here and there. I can understand a conversation when it's going on. But there was a lot of Italian words being thrown out.
Oh yeah, he's nonstop. Did he do his halftime FaceTime with his grandmother or his dad?
Yep.
That
And
happens
so
every
now
time.
I have been added to the FaceTime
What a
request
tradition.
list on
Oh,
Friday.
nice,
Yeah.
solid. Yeah, he does a recap usually. He does it sometimes with his grandparents in Italy. They don't do it with his dad. I was there for the first Italy game, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to figure out to be with him on Friday. But
It
it's
was nuts.
pretty.
We said we're
pretty
going to
passionate.
a World Cup game when they're here.
It's right. It's a mini World Cup game in your own
Yeah.
area.
It has to happen. But I would like to pledge my allegiance to I don't have a favorite Italian soccer team.
You
So
gotta get one.
I think Ray has stated that he might be
That's-
a Roma fan.
Yeah, it's my second favorite team because I have to
I'm jumping on.
do it.
Saturday
They've
changed
been
my life.
struggling, so they need it.
I
It's
think
all right. We got Spina. I just want to yell Spina 100 times.
I think soccer is the only sport that can get people together like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like how Mo does that with his grandparents and whoever else
For
he
sure.
does it with. Like, I'm not calling someone like at the halftime of a basketball game and be like, "Yo, did you see this? Did you
dog.
see
They do it
that?"
during regular season
You know,
games.
so
I've seen it.
That's nuts.
Game
And
5, like
I just wish it was bigger here in the U.S. because soccer is it's a really fun sport to watch, and I think the
Fun
only
sport
reason
in
I
the world.
watch it, the only reason I watch it so little is so I can have all those emotions fine, even though I'm not rooting for anybody. It's just a fun game to watch. Hopefully, it's a good game, and that's all
Yeah.
we've really been getting with this
Oh,
Euro
yeah.
championship. So,
Otani has
Yeah,
2
it's
tonight.
just-
yeah, 2 homers.
yeah, two.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
2.
Oh god damn!
Schwarber hit another too.
I didn't even know that. I haven't. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So soccer's the Euros. We couldn't have it last year, but I'm glad we have it this year with the quality of games. And today was England and Germany. I was talking to an Englishman today during the game, and they haven't beat Germany, I think he
Since
said, since like the
1966.
60s. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was huge. And to have it in Wembley, right?
Yeah, it was.
Stadium crowd that was probably the biggest crowd in England since all this went in, since the pandemic, because there's no way it's been packed more than that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. I had goosebumps, dude. My hair's like, I was just watching it. I wasn't rooting for any team. I wanted England just because I know somebody, but to watch the crowd be alive like that, like Fort said, like soccer, just there's so much passion that the crowd is a part of the game more than baseball, football, and basketball. Like soccer, you need the fans. That's a part of the game.
Yeah, that England game was nuts today. Shout out to my guys in Chanko
Ukraine,
for
Sweden. I thought that was a bad game. I thought that was going to be a snooze fest, and that turned out to be lit.
Sweden smoked my parlay today, but we won't talk about that.
Let's not leave out the Copa America. There's been some pretty good games, although I have not tuned in. But my South American friends have been tuned in.
Man, that's a no contest. Brazil's running away with that again.
Yeah, that's all they've been saying.
Talented.
Brazil's running away with everything, but it's still good to see those players over there. I saw Argentina whoop Bolivia yesterday.
I had that on for like 5 minutes. I was like, oh, this is over. I can change
Messi was just padding his stats.
Hey, shout out to me for betting on men's tennis today. And the match that I bet on is currently postponed until tomorrow.
Damn. Yeah, speaking of tennis.
It got too late.
Serena withdrew today. I'm not sure why.
She got hurt. Yeah.
She hurt her ankle.
Yeah.
She tried to keep going, but it wasn't working out.
Yeah, it sucks when you get one of the GOATs like that too. When we have, they're on very few years left in their career. That a tournament like that you want to see her playing because she's dominated for years. It's unfortunate.
We get into this top 5.
Yeah,
top five.
Read my mind. Top 5. What is it? What is it this week, bro?
Our personal top 5 favorite rap albums.
This was tough for me. I'm glad we discussed this before, because if you just laid this on me, I'd be in full panic mode. Where the segment would have to be probably like 45 minutes long, because I'd be in my iTunes like looking for. But
that's why it's good to be prepared and
proper preparation
ahead of time.
See, I will say though, with this list, mine specifically would probably change. Like,
right?
But I think
ask me tomorrow. It's a different top 5 for sure.
This is like, I know I forgot albums, but like I was just thinking like today, right now, like if I had to put on 5 albums in a row, I'm probably gonna play these 5.
There you go, and that's how you judge it right there.
Yeah,
it's but that's music. Music is very moody, right? And it's very in the moment of where you're in your life and the stuff you like, and you go in and out, and so that's just part of music, to me.
I kind of just try to base it off of like certain memories or like moods that I was in or whatnot.
Do you have a full 5 today?
I do.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
let him lead us off.
I'm not going first.
For it. Yeah, just in case I forgot one and he got it.
In no particular order. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Oh man.
I debated on that one. I did.
Okay. At least we either had it or we strong consideration.
I remember that when that came out, and I drove. Like where I grew up, this area called the Quad Cities. Half of it's in Iowa, half of it's in Illinois. It's like along the Mississippi River, and so like I drove all the way from Iowa, like the long drive over the bridge to the Best Buy over in Illinois, right? Like a half hour before they opened, there was a line at the door. And this is back when CDs came out on Tuesdays. Right? And
that's when I used the album too.
All back. And I remember that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hijack it.
Oh no,
that gave me memories.
Quick shout out to my neighbor for deciding to mow his lawn while I'm recording.
Hey neighbor.
It's funny you said you were driving to go pick this up. I was riding my bike to middle school singing Many Men.
Showing our age.
Funny you were riding your bicycle. My mom bought this for me.
Next I got Good Kid, Mad City. That album dropped like when I was like graduating high school, going into college.
Love it.
Few semesters that I did in college, so just listening to that was pretty fun. Take Care, gotta have Drake on there. 2001 Dr. Dre, and then last but not least, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yep.
Kanye had like 2 or 3 that I could have put on there, but that's probably one of it was.
You could do a top 5 Kanye album.
Yeah, you really could.
Yeah,
I'm gonna switch it up and go real quick. This way I can be on mute while he's on this side of the house.
Take us on a tour.
Mine is also in no particular order, but I have Nothing Was the Same. Personally, it's one of my favorite Drake albums.
Yeah.
I have Section 80.
Oh, I just added that.
I got Dirty Sprite 2.
Hey.
College Dropout. And How Fly.
Yeah.
Solid.
So How Fly is probably close to number 1 for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
You wanna
that's
go, Ben?
OG Currency
Yeah,
and Wiz right
I'm
there.
ready. I have to preface mine, otherwise, might not make sense to the viewers. But again, this is top 5. Mine are rap hip hop, so I'm gonna put them in there. But like
Yep.
when I think of good albums, and I'm like old school, so I like that days in the album where you listen to it from first song to the end without skipping. I think a lot of music these days isn't really designed around that, and especially in the album mode. So all these top 5 for me are that way. Like I could never skip through them. So mine, Good Kid, Mad City, I put in there. That had to be in there. That's Kendrick has Section 80 so good, but Good Kid, Mad City so good to me. It's my favorite. I also love Damn, which is really good. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which I actually think is the best hip hop album ever made. That thing to me is like an actual play. If you listen to it, it's like
Did you guys buy the
video?
Yeah,
it's like a whole YouTube video.
I bought the CD and I got the video with it. Did you guys buy that back in the day?
Yeah.
When it went on sale, like it completely folded out, like had a DVD in it.
It's truly a work of art. It's crazy,
it is. It is art for sure. You're right about that.
Just those kind of days.
Top tier Kanye.
Yep. And then A Tribe Called Quest. I'm a big A Tribe Called Quest fan. The Low End Theory is my favorite album of theirs and one of my top 5. If you guys know Run the Jewels, I'm a big Run the Jewels fan. So RTJ2 is up there for me. And then Outkast, Aquemini, is probably a top 3 album for me, just because it brings me back to my high school days and it puts me in that mood, like memories of high school. And I just love Outkast, like style and vibe of that album. So
100%.
Yeah, that's the beauty of music. When we were talking about this in the group chat, it was like we had a preference, like it's our personal top 5, not what we think is. So it doesn't matter what is on your top 5. It's all about the nostalgia. Where were you when this album came out? Weighs probably more than what the album had in the context. Obviously, every top 5 you guys named were probably top 50 of all time rap albums. So that's not in the debate. It's all about which one you put higher than the next. So my number 1 is Get Rich or Die Trying. 12 years old in school, I got to see white kids move over and act in a certain way that I've never seen music made them act in my life. So that was like culture moving at the age of 12 years old. Graduation. I put this on last week actually, and it's just such a feel good album. You got the other Kanye West albums like Late Registrations, like uplifting, and it's got that swag and uniqueness. And then Dark Twisted Fantasies, that is exactly what it is. Dark, twisted, that kind of vibe. And then Graduation was just so like musically orchestrated, like perfection to me. Watch the Throne, because I feel like I had to put a Jay-Z album in there. And also I went to the Watch the Throne concert in Madison Square Garden where they played
I was thinking of that one too.
N-words in Paris like 7 times in a row. Like
it's on my master.
Is it? Yeah.
Watch the Thrones on
your honorable mention for sure. Section 80.
23 deep over there on that list.
Right? That was a big list.
I'm a big music fan.
I like it.
Section 80, I had to put Kendrick on because he's my current favorite rapper above Drake and J. Cole. I connect with him better lyrically. And no particular order, but I feel like I always go to bat for this guy because he's so underrated. Let's Get It, Thug Motivation 101. I could, and I think, Ben, you said it, is if you could play an album from one and not touch it in a car and just know like 80% of the words, that's probably the one I'm going to. That album in that summer of, I remember it came out in July when I was a kid. I don't know what the year was, but that thing was playing in my car for 3 years. And that's really hard to do back in the day where there was so much good quality music. So,
yeah, man, I like how we all have a lot similar ones. And you guys just saying a bunch of them, I'm like, oh man, I could add that to my list too.
It's so hard.
I have to, because I love them.
I gotta put this down at number 28.
I have to say a couple honorable mentions. UGK Riding Dirty. Oh my gosh, it's probably it's like what introduced the world to Southern hip hop and Southern rap. That album's so good. What other one? Oh, Clips. Hell Hath No Fury. I love. I had to put that on there. And then, dude, I don't know if you guys know AZ at all.
I don't think
I
so.
do it. I know who he is. I've never listened to his music.
Same.
Like that, but
I know who he is. I don't know. Yeah.
So AZ is like, I think, so underrated, and he's old school, but like in the early 2000s, he dropped Asiatic, and that album is so good. One last thing, I gotta say it. I don't know if any of you guys are a Tyler the Creator fan, but his new album dropped last Friday, and it is unskippable.
I did listen to that song with Little Uzi.
All right, I'll download it now so I have it so I remember.
Like,
I trust your opinion.
Download that Larry June.
In this album, he gets back. He's back to rapping, so he raps a lot more in this album, and I think it's really good. And in fact, I'm gonna say this because I've been listening to it all week.
What's the name of the album so I make sure I get the right one?
What is it called?
Oh, Call Me If You Get Lost.
Yeah, Call Me If You Get Lost.
Okay.
For me, it's my album of the year right now.
Ooh, I like that.
Hot take.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm telling you, the last time I've listened to an album, I've grown so far away from music that come out. Like I'll listen to songs and I like them. I don't know songs by heart anymore. I don't like it. Just I'm not attached to it. The older I get, I guess, because I don't listen to music like I used to. Whether it's out and about in my car, I listen to podcasts all the time. But if I get an album recommendation, not a song recommendation, because anybody could do that. If someone tells me an album is good, that's when I stop and I'll listen, because there's not, in my opinion, there's not too many out there that I could sit through.
I was like that with music, especially for the past few months. I think the music that came out was shit. So recently, when the Lloyd Banks project dropped and Larry June, I
J.
keep
Cole
mentioning
dropped.
him.
The Hunger for More, by the way, fire.
Those albums I've been listening to top to bottom easily. So I'm just glad real music's back because we needed it.
Yeah.
It took a time off a little bit. It's coming back little by little. Some good quality rap.
Yep.
That Tyler album, DJ Drama produced it, and so it's got in a lot of ways that old school
Northeast
DJ Drama like feel to it, and just, I don't know, I love it. So
DJ Drama usually produces that raw hip hop, little street. You could, you hear, he produced a lot of Young Jeezy back in the day, Gucci Mane, all that. So like, you really, what you're getting if he has his hands on a project. But that's our top fives. That was good. I like that. We brought that back just to
give us your top five too. Whoever's listening, we need all the top fives we can get.
For real. Yeah, please. Do you have I don't want you to miss the beat because you've been off for a little bit. Do you have any random B Wonder thoughts or anything like that?
Yeah, I did have one for today, but I don't. You kind of alluded to something at the top of it, and then I didn't want to B Wonder it on here because I didn't know what kind of reaction I could get to the B Wonder, and I didn't want to put you in a spot, Ray, that my B Wonder had to do something with. We won't talk about it.
Well, give us a topic, and we'll steer whether that's the beauty of B Wonders. It's either a 3-minute segment or it could be the end of this episode. So that's why I wanted to see what you had.
Well, what I was wondering, since we haven't had a chance to talk about it since it happened, and there's been enough time, but I was wondering how you feel about the Nets not being in the playoffs anymore. Yeah,
well, for the record, I don't think a tear came out. Maybe it did. There was only a couple of people to see it, but I had a moment after the game when everybody left because I did have a Game 7 party, and I got ripped apart. But I don't regret anything I did, but I did get emotional about that loss because it was a long season. It's been a long fucking 15 years being a Nets fan. So I'm sure when you get close to it, hopefully you do, you'll feel like you won't know until it's time. Like leading up to Game 7, I knew it was going to be an emotional game regardless of the outcome. Like if we lost, I was going to be upset. If they won, I would cry or be emotional as if they lost, but in a joyous way. So all I could tell you is at the end of I couldn't talk to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I hope I never feel like that for a really long time because that was deep. Yeah. That was just me, and that's how you know it's like you're a fan and not like somebody that like I'm a true fan. I could never talk about the Nets in a group chat and boast if it's a hard loss. Like if it's a hard loss, I didn't want to talk to anybody that day. I don't think I talked to any group chat that night because I needed like a good 12 hours to like it all to settle in.
Yeah.
Must be nice to be left alone when your team loses.
Even now, talking about it, I'm getting emotional a little bit.
Hey, must be nice to have your team in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. So, I mean, that's we're blessed, and I'm looking forward to the future. Hopefully, New York Knicks basketball stays up; they don't fall off. And Chicago, when the big cities are doing it, it's fun, man. So I'm rooting for all 4 of our teams moving forward, so we get good quality content.
Hopefully, the Heat don't.
I got a few shout outs before we get out of here.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't care, but shout out to Adam Fox, the Norris Trophy winner in the NHL, best defensive player.
Yep.
It's big for us. Shout out to Melo. We were speaking about him earlier, but he won the inaugural Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Award.
That came out when we started.
My guy flies his mistress out to Europe, and he wants to.
I don't know if you guys saw this. I think a lot of teams are going to be trending in this direction, but MetLife Stadium, where the Giants play and Jets, unfortunately, is officially cash-free moving forward.
Smart.
So concession stands will no longer accept cash. They'll have like non-fee ATMs outside, but just cards only, and then all the tickets will be mobile at home games.
Yeah, that's a new wave. I think the AAA started that. Well, they're not the AAA anymore, are they?
No,
they started that like a couple of years ago where there was no hard copy of tickets, everything.
Okay.
The pandemic helped that situation out. Arenas and stadiums were moving towards that because it makes it quicker. But now because of the pandemic, people don't want to be handling stuff. So I see that being 100% after next season. Like, you don't need cash. You don't need a ticket. Everything's on your phone or card.
Yeah.
And most importantly, shout out Ethereum. We back.
Yeah, I was just speaking of that. I was just going to say, what's a great technology to have that payment transaction system, and why you'll see more things move to this is blockchain technology. Mm-hmm. That's what it's really good at. And so
100%.
That's why, cash is dead. It's done. Any type of transaction where you're actually taking something tangible it's useless anymore. So,
agreed.
You got some stuff.
I got a few shout outs. 1, shout out my barber. 2, shout out to all the first responders for that building that collapsed in Miami. That was pretty big stuff that just happened. I personally know one of them. I went to high school with her. She was a firefighter. She was out there with her K9 unit. So they're doing God's work out there. I won't get into the conspiracy theories behind it with McAfee and all that kind of shit because we're nearing the end of the episode. But yes, that's just a shitty situation. Supposedly that building was sinking into the ground since the 90s and they didn't do anything about it. So I mean, just if you can buy your own house now, while you can, because who knows what's going to happen in the next few years. But that's a sad situation, and prayers out to all the families and everyone involved. 100%.
Yep.
Anything else? No.
Oh, talk about your horse that you bought.
Oh yeah, I bought an NFT digital horse.
People were like, a horse.
What's the horse's name?
His name is Payment Received.
Hopefully he sees his name a lot in the future.
For real. I sent some videos out in the pod. It's kind of funny because it's right up my alley. It's gambling, it's crypto, it's NFTs. So I mean, I haven't been able to sleep for the past few weeks looking up at NFTs at like 3 a.m. trying to follow all this shit because crypto does not sleep, so it's not good for my health.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Before I get into any shout out DMs that I have or we got, trending news, Cardi B and Offset having baby number 2. I didn't even know they were still together. Maybe they are. People just be having babies with each other. Oh, you're cool. I like you. I'll have a baby with you, even though I hate your guts. But
you know what that means?
Let's have another one. That means anybody could have sex with another human being and procreate. What?
No, it means she's gonna be a mama again.
Mama! That was good. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah,
that was good.
That's what
I like that.
Yeah.
You did that very subtle, and I think that's what got me. Shout out Benjamin dying.
Oh, man.
Shout out Carl Nassib. He came out, that he was gay, plays in the NFL. plays for the Raiders. He, over the 48 hours after he announced it, which I love the way he announced it, by the way, super casual, like, hey, just what's up, guys? Like, by the way,
guys, what's up, guys?
I'm
just
gay.
pulling up right now.
Like, that's the best way to do it.
Cool.
Like,
Yeah,
super
for sure.
casual. He had the most sell jerseys over those 24 hours, initial 48 hours, that he came out with that. Awesome. Why not capitalize on who you are?
He
You know,
got
at
a
the end of the day.
positive reaction to all that. So good for him.
For sure. Yeah, it was a lot. I didn't see any negative, which is awesome.
No.
That means the world
You're
is
an idiot. Yeah,
is
you're
progressing.
be negative.
Who's gonna
Since
say something negative about that now?
no, but the
Don't
guy that
even live on this planet anymore.
but remember the NFL player that came out that played for the he didn't officially play
Michael
for the
Sam.
Rams. He got
Michael
drafted.
Sam.
He didn't get a lot of love when that came out. I remember because he was like the first one. This helps that obviously 5 years is like in life is like a decade is a decade plus. So that helped. NFL throwback jerseys are coming back because they got approved for the new helmet. So I've seen a lot of cool posts on that. Hopefully every single team gets Nike does a great job with throwbacks. So hopefully every single team. I'm dying for the New York Giants to have a good jersey because I'm sick and tired of their plain black and white and red and white jerseys. Perfect putt. We mentioned on the IG live with myself and Fort. You use discount code utility 15. Perfect putt. It's my friend's company backed by Dusty Bags DJ. Use our code. You get. I think you instead of paying 170, 180, you pay like 120, 130. It's like 40 bucks off, 30 bucks off.
Yeah.
Let's see. DJ Kuzmo he's everywhere, man. He listens to as many podcasts as I do. Very loyal. F9, I don't know if you guys are gonna see it or did you guys see it yet?
I haven't seen it. I probably will, just not gonna rush over to it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last 4 of them, so maybe I'll just tune it in if it's convenient. But
yeah, I gotta be honest.
I just know that John Cena catches a car or something.
So
does John Cena not catch a car in the preview?
Is what's her name in it from Game of Thrones again?
Things.
Dude, everybody's in it. Yes, she is. She's bad. I love her, by the way. She's
Yeah,
awesome.
me too.
Yeah, everybody's in it. And then obviously we wanted to end on this note, save it for end. Obviously, we take the floor, our boy Feinberg and
shout out Feinberg.
We want to pay some respect and love. Obviously, 100%. Us, Gravy and Fort probably knew him more personally. I got to know him over the last 21, 22 weeks doing this show or this podcast, and so did Ben. Interacting with him every day. Go ahead.
Just shout out to Josh. Probably known him about, I want to say 15, 16 years now. Basically grew up with this man, lived in the same neighborhood, rode to school with him every day. He was in our main group of friends, me, Robbie, Dom, Vito, Jamari, Ben, all of us, man. Dude was wild, lived life to the absolute fullest. Thought he was nuts half the time, but he was always, respectful of everyone's position in life. And, he was going to do it whether you wanted to be there or not. Came to Iowa 3 times. Shout out my dog.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude was just, it was sudden. It was unexpected. We'll miss him. Still don't think it's hit me quite where it should yet. But it's just it's a shock. He reached out to either the podcast or Ray, the day he did pass. So
yeah,
he was very in the moment, listened to us all the time, always hit us up individually or all together.
Yep.
With feedback or, just saying, hey, great episode, stuff like that. So, we'll miss him. Prayers to his family, his mom, Robin, dad, Saki, brother, Jordan. It's going to be a long road, but hope everyone, prayers are with them.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Shout out Feinberg. Like Ray said, I didn't really know him too much personally, but whenever I did link up with him or see him, he just was always super positive, and he just seemed like he didn't really have a care in the world. He was just happy-go-lucky, just go with the flow type of dude. And I mean, I feel like that's kind of how everyone should be, or at least strive to do so in life. Not, you can't really control things. You just got to go with the flow. And I feel like he embodied that to like a great standard from what I know. You know, I only met him so many times, but he like you guys said, he was always hitting us up with any kind of feedback and everything. So yeah, can we shout out Josh Feinberg Live? Boy's gonna be missed.
Feinberg Live.
Anything you want to add on that, Ben?
Yeah, I'll say my thoughts are still and always will be with his family. I didn't know him, never met him. I just have interacted with him through this pod. So there's two messages that he sent me just personally that I think maybe describe how he was. And the first one was after the week I wasn't on, because I had some work stuff to take care of. He sent me a message asking if everything was all right, that he missed me on the pod and was checking in and making sure that everything was good. And as someone who's never met somebody, you know, it takes a lot to actually send a message like that. So to me, that shows, you know, he's a good guy, cared about people, would support them. He was ride or die for the show. And then the second message Feinberg sent me that I think probably shows a lot about him, and that is something that I'll always remember, is he sent me a message one time asking what my stance was on fried butter on a stick, which I think shows that he was humorous and he just liked to have fun. So
yeah, he did get to experience the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah. So
he was very proud of it.
Number one fan. He supported us from day one. Yeah, rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, we'll continue to you know, because this was founded by us four, but he'll always be our fifth member, and I think, you know, he always was and will be. So we'll always mention him. Actually, the last 2 days, I've actually sent him messages of videos that I think he would like, which is pretty cool. I feel like I'm sharing something with him. But yeah, I didn't know him either, but I felt like I did, and that's why we had to take last week off. But I'm glad we were able to, you know, show some love, show respect, and we'll continue to mention him and show his personality through the podcast, because I know that he'd want us to continue to have fun and talk about things that we love. And he loved listening to us multiple times every episode. So we'll kind of end on that, you know, that note. If it hits you heavy, obviously it's a sign right there. Then, you know, if you have people in your life that you don't talk to, you don't reach out enough, go ahead and do it, because life is too short.
Yeah.
So that's episode 21. We'll be back next week, guys. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.